There are brands that when they drop new models, the whole industry stops and stares. BYD is one of them. The Chinese giant is here with 6 2027 models, and dealerships from Detroit to Stuttgart are already watching with fear. 6 bets in 6 completely different segments, all built on the same idea BYD has been proving for years now. We don't just compete, we take over. And don't leave before number 1, because it's my favorite on this entire list and the one quietly breaking the sedan market wide open. So get comfortable, hit subscribe if you haven't, and share this video with a friend, because this one's exclusive to Atif Cars. Welcome to the best automotive channel on YouTube. This is Atif Cars. Number 6. Let's start with something almost nobody outside China saw coming, because BYD just did something very few automakers on Earth would dare, building an electric hypercar that goes head-to-head with Bugatti and Koenigsegg. Meet the Yangwang U9 Xtreme. This car exists because of something BYD's ultra-luxury brand Yangwang quietly proved over the last 2 years, that a Chinese company could out-engineer Europe's most exclusive supercar makers at their own game. The standard U9 already shocked the world with a verified top speed above 490 km/h. The Xtreme takes that and doubles down completely. 4 independent motors, one on each wheel, spinning up to 30,000 RPM, delivering a combined output north of 2,200 kilowatts. That's roughly 3,000 horsepower in one car from BYD. On paper, that number alone sounds like marketing exaggeration, the kind of figure brands throw around in press releases, knowing nobody will actually test it. But the Xtreme backs it up on track, and that's the difference. It lapped the legendary Nürburgring Nordschleife in under 7 minutes, becoming the first electric car ever to break that barrier. Not a claimed number, not a simulation, a stopwatch, a track, and a car that showed up and did it. It's built on BYD's brand new 1200-volt platform, the first mass-produced car in the world to run that kind of voltage, which means the charging speed and thermal management have to be engineered to a level most legacy automakers haven't even attempted yet. Here's the part that makes people go quiet. This is a road-legal, street-registered production car, not a concept, not a one-off showpiece rolled out for a motor show and never seen again. You could, in theory, drive this to the shops. Nobody will, obviously, but the fact that it's even possible tells you everything about how far BYD has pushed this. Now the price. Only 30 units are being built, and reports confirm buyers are paying north of 20 million yuan each. That's close to $3 million per car. A BYD. 10 years ago, that sentence would have gotten you laughed off the internet. Today, it's real, and buyers are lining up. When you buy a Bugatti or a Koenigsegg, you're paying for decades of European motorsport heritage, a badge that's been chasing lap records before most of us were born. When you buy a U9 Xtreme, you're paying for something completely different, proof that BYD's battery tech, motor tech, and chassis tech can go toe-to-toe with anyone on the planet and win, without a single decade of racing pedigree behind it. This car isn't meant to sell thousands of units, it's not meant to make BYD money in any traditional sense, it's meant to shut every skeptic up in one lap, and then let that lap time do all the talking for the rest of the lineup. Number 5. This is the truck that's already rewriting the rulebook for Ford and Toyota. After years of plug-in hybrid trucks being treated like a gimmick, something buyers tolerated instead of wanted, BYD walked in and made one that actually works. The BYD Shark 6. Built on a proper body-on-frame chassis with BYD's dual-mode off-road system, the Shark pairs a turbocharged engine acting mostly as a generator with dual electric motors, one on each axle. Combined output lands around 320 kilowatts, more than 400 horsepower, enough for a 0 to 100 km/h in under 6 seconds in a full-size dual-cab truck. Trucks aren't supposed to feel like this. Trucks are supposed to be slow, torquey, and a little agricultural. The Shark throws that assumption entirely out, and the efficiency numbers are the part that really hurts the competition. Electric-only range of up to 100 kilometers for daily commuting means most owners could theoretically go weeks without touching a gas pump for school runs and errands, only firing up the engine for longer hauls. Combined range pushes past 800 kilometers when the engine kicks in, which means road trip anxiety, the #1 complaint about electric trucks, simply isn't part of the conversation here. In Australia, a brutal proving ground for trucks, where dual-cab utes are practically a national obsession and buyers are ruthlessly loyal to Ford and Toyota, the Shark 6 became one of the country's best-selling utes within its first full year, outselling long-time favourites in the segment. That's not a small market quietly adopting something new. That's the toughest truck market in the world, handing over its wallet to a Chinese brand that didn't even sell passenger cars there a decade ago. BYD didn't stop there. The newest performance variant bumped total output to 350 kilowatts and 700 newton-meters of torque, with a 3,500 kilogram braked towing capacity, finally matching the benchmark set by the Ford Ranger and Toyota Hilux, the two trucks every buyer in this segment cross-shops before signing anything. And it comes backed by a 6-year, 150,000-kilometer warranty, plus an 8-year battery warranty, coverage most gas truck buyers have never even been offered by their own brands. Here's what drivers switch. Nobody expected a Chinese hybrid pickup to out-tow, out-accelerate and out-warranty the segment leaders, all while burning a fraction of the fuel those trucks need just to sit at idle. That's exactly what happened, and dealers in multiple countries are reporting waitlists because production simply can't keep pace with demand.
Number 4. This is proof that BYD isn't just chasing volume anymore, it's chasing the exact same buyers as Bentley and Range Rover, the Yangwang U8L Dingzang Edition. The U8L already existed as a 6-seat luxury off-roader, floating through floodwater like something out of a military demo reel, spinning full 360-degree tank turns in parking lots, and surviving a blown tire at speed without losing control. All party tricks that sound impossible until you watch the footage yourself. The Dingzang Edition takes that same platform and turns the rear cabin into something closer to a private jet than an SUV. 2 individual rear seats replace the bench, each with zero-gravity recline and full massage functionality, built for owners who never plan on driving themselves, because at this price point, most of them won't. Under the hood sits a quad-motor setup paired with a turbocharged range extender, delivering a combined 880 kilowatts, nearly 1,200 horsepower, in a full-size SUV weighing over 3.5 tons. That's a genuinely absurd amount of power for a vehicle this heavy, and yet combined range still tops 1,160 kilometers, numbers that shouldn't coexist on the same spec sheet, but somehow do. The starting price for the standard U8L already sits around $180,000, and the Dingzang Edition is positioned even higher, aimed squarely at buyers cross-shopping the Mercedes Maybach GLS, a segment where badge snobbery usually wins every argument before the test drive even starts. Here's the detail that stops people cold. This isn't a badge-engineered luxury SUV riding on borrowed German parts, the way some Chinese luxury attempts have worked in the past. Every piece of this car, the battery, the motors, the suspension, the driving assist system, is built in-house by BYD. Owners in China report the same thing over and over. It drives like nothing else at this price point, because at this price point, in this segment, there's genuinely nothing else like it. No German rival can float, no German rival can spin in place. This is BYD deciding that luxury doesn't have to mean playing by somebody else's rulebook. Right here, I want to ask you a quick favor. If this video's doing something for you, drop a like right now. It genuinely helps this channel more than you'd think. And if you're not subscribed yet, this is the moment, because there's a lot more content like this coming every single week, and you don't want to miss what's next. Number 3. This is the SUV that Chinese buyers have been pre-ordering faster than BYD can build it, the BYD Great Tang EV, also known as the Dangtang. For years, the question kept coming up online and in showrooms: when is BYD going to build a proper flagship SUV that can go head-to-head with the Mercedes GLS and BMW X7, not just on price, but on real numbers, real range, real presence? BYD listened, and the Great Tang answers that directly. A full-size, 7-seat crossover measuring over 5.2 meters long, with a cabin featuring 3 screens, a ceiling-mounted rear entertainment display, folding tables, and a built-in refrigerator, the kind of cabin that used to only exist in 6-figure European flagships. The rear-wheel drive version runs a single 300-kilowatt motor and claims a CLTC range up to 950 kilometers, the longest of any full-size electric SUV in the world right now. Read that again. Not the longest for its price bracket, not the longest among Chinese SUVs, the longest full stop against every rival on the planet. The dual-motor all-wheel drive version pushes combined output to 585 kilowatts, more than 780 horsepower, hitting 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.9 seconds, despite weighing close to 3 tons, a number that would embarrass plenty of performance sedans, let alone a 7-seat family hauler. It rides on dual-chamber air suspension with rear-wheel steering, giving it a turning radius tighter than most compact hatchbacks, which means a car this enormous can still slot into a tight parking space without 3 attempts and a prayer. And the number that actually shook the industry. Within 24 hours of pre-sale opening, the Great Tang logged over 30,000 orders. Within weeks, that number crossed 150,000. Starting price landed around $35,500, less than half of what a comparably sized Mercedes or BMW would cost. This isn't a niche launch, this is BYD walking straight into the segment Germany has owned for decades and getting a response most automakers only dream about, the kind of demand that makes a brand's entire executive team cancel vacation plans. Number 2. Now we get to the one the sedan world genuinely didn't see coming, the BYD Han L EV. For years, everyone said the same thing about sedans. They're dying, SUVs are winning, nobody wants a low-slung 4-door anymore. Every automaker seemed to believe it. Some quietly killed off their sedan lineups entirely. The Han L was built to prove that argument wrong, completely, and it does it with numbers that feel almost unfair. This is BYD's flagship sedan, now riding on a brand new Super E platform running a 30,000 RPM motor and a 1000-volt architecture, the same technology BYD debuted on its most advanced electric cars ever built. The rear-wheel drive version delivers 500 kilowatts, about 670 horsepower, with a CLTC range up to 950 kilometers. The all-wheel drive version jumps to 885 kilowatts, over 1000 horsepower, and hits 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 2.9 seconds in a 4-door sedan. Not a hypercar, not a track special, a car you could drive your kids to school in. Charging is where it gets almost unfair, a 30 to 80% top-up in about 27 minutes thanks to BYD's second-generation Blade battery and flash charging system, meaning a coffee and bathroom break at a charging station gets you most of your range back.
And the price is the part that actually breaks the segment. Starting around $27,000, going up to roughly $37,000 for the fully loaded all-wheel drive trim. That puts a 1,000 horsepower, 700-kilometer range luxury sedan at a price point closer to a mid-tier Camry than a BMW 5 Series. Think about what that actually means for a second. The car BMW wants $70,000 for, in horsepower and range terms, BYD is handing you for barely half that. Owners in China consistently describe the same thing: a cabin that feels German luxury quiet, tech that feels years ahead, and a price tag that makes competitors' pricing departments extremely uncomfortable. This is my goldmine pick on this entire list. When a car delivers hypercar adjacent acceleration, genuine luxury brand refinement, and a starting price under $30,000, that's not just a good deal, that's a segment-defining car. The kind that forces every rival brand back into their design labs asking hard questions about their own pricing. And now, the one I've been building up to, the favourite of this entire list, the one almost nobody expected to be this important, the BYD Song Ultra EV. In a world obsessed with 1,000 horsepower flexes and million-dollar hypercars, the Song Ultra doesn't try to impress anyone with numbers on a spec sheet. It tries to impress everyone with math. This is a straightforward electric SUV, roughly the size of a Tesla Model Y, built for families who just want a reliable, efficient, well-equipped daily driver. Not a status symbol, not a conversation piece, just a car that works every single day without drama. The numbers are almost boring in the best way possible. A single rear motor producing 270 kilowatts, about 362 horsepower, plenty for daily driving without needing to prove anything to anyone. A CLTC range up to 710 kilometers on the bigger battery option, more than most families will ever need between charges. BYD's flash charging tech, taking it from 10 to 70% in about 5 minutes, faster than most people spend deciding what to order at a drive-thru, and a starting price under $22,000. Let that sit for a second. A 710-kilometer range electric SUV with fast charging that rivals filling up a gas tank for less than a Toyota RAV4 costs in most markets, and in some markets less than a used RAV4. In its first month on sale, the Song Ultra pulled in over 60,000 orders. Store visits jumped 40% in the 72 hours after launch. Around 70% of buyers paid extra for the longer range battery, and nearly half opted into BYD's advanced driver assist package on top of an already unbeatable base price. This is exactly the kind of car that changes an entire market. Not because it's flashy, but because it's the smart buy every single time. The one your accountant would pick if your accountant also happened to love cars. It's the car your neighbour buys, then the neighbour after that, then the whole street. No fireworks, no hypercar bragging rights, just relentless, undeniable value. The kind that quietly wins wars nobody even realised was being fought. These were the 6 BYD models for 2027 that are already rearranging the entire industry. From a $3 million hypercar humiliating Europe's best on the Nürburgring to a $22,000 SUV quietly becoming the smartest purchase on the market for millions of families. BYD isn't slowing down, it's speeding up, and every single brand on this list, from Bugatti to Ford to BMW, is watching nervously. Don't buy the rest until you've seen where this brand is actually headed next. Which one of these 6 would you actually put in your driveway? Drop it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.